Great. Thank you so much. Oh, we got another comment, this last one.
I was going to say that, like, what people see on TV, that's how they portray most of the black people that you see. Because, like, I went to McDonald's yesterday, and I was at McDonald's yesterday, and I was wearing my food or whatever, right? And I had so many people looking at me like I was crazy, like they seen a ghost or whatever. And like I feel like everybody got feelings, and you can't just judge someone off of what you see on TV and what they portray for us to be, and that's not what everybody is.
Give a round of applause. That was really powerful. Yes.
I want to add to what he said there. You know, that same stuff happens to me as well. Like, even my own race, you walk into some place and they're like, why are you acting like you know, you've been around the white people for your whole life. And I don't know why our own race wants to pick who we are. Like, we should always just be fitting in. And I don't know why we don't fit in. They're like, you've never been in the ghetto. Like, TV, I always hate when they see us, they're like, you don't act like you've lived there before. And I'm like, well, maybe I haven't. And that's not my fault. So, you know, don't treat me like I'm supposed to be this ghetto black person coming in with, hey, yo, which, you know, and no. I'm civilized. Shouldn't be like assuming that this is what people are.
That's very interesting that you use the term civilized. I just want to talk about that for a minute, just 1 second, because it's very interesting that we make an assumption just because someone identifies with a particular group that they should be in a certain area. Like we make assumptions about blacks, we make assumptions about whites, we make assumptions about males and females and professional roles. We do a lot of time, but I think the most important thing is as an individual, where do you want to be? You know, that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that. We have one here.
Like you were saying, like when you go to the store, they said that you like how you lost there and stuff like that. Sometimes, like black people who make themselves look like that, you go out in public, you act crazy, you do crazy things, like you don't want them to look at you like that. But you gotta see how the people in your own race, how they are. Like if black people have a party, it would be a fight in a second. But sometimes white parties, all they do is party and just have fun. Like I know sometimes white people can't get together and just have fun. It's always drama. It's always good stuff. But he was saying how he was like, because he talked proper and whatever, but it doesn't really matter how you talk. If you are from the projects or whatever, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter where you came from, where you at now. And that's all that really matters. Like he tried to make it seem like it was bad if you talk like ayo or bro and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but as long as you know when you want a job interview and you know how to come correct, then that's all that should matter. That's how you talk. That's how you talk.
Thanks for sharing your opinion. I want to talk about that you have brought up a point about the parties and how people of a particular race may act in public. But I'm wondering, have you seen anyone that doesn't look like you act up in public at all? Yeah. So it's not just us, you know? Have you seen anyone in public that doesn't look like you act in a manner that, right?
And they just look at blacks like, oh, okay. But sometimes it is black people, like every time someone who's like a black person.
Very interesting point. The news, media. So sometimes what I've seen, even in the area where I live, is that there are some things that are highlighted on the news for us to see to give a perception about a particular group. There are crimes that happen out in other areas, not within the inner city circle and realm, perimeter, that we don't get to see. Therefore, our perception is that this particular group is good and this group is not. Media has a lot to do with shaping our perception. But I think it comes more down to, as an individual, how do you behave? And then two, stereotypes are created because, like I said, when you meet someone new, you base your perception and opinion on them. It comes from what you've experienced from the last person that looked like that person. And so I think it's going to take it's really hard to do, but it's like we have to really take a step back before we allow ourselves to make judgment in a way and develop an opinion. It's really touchy and it's hard. Back here in a red shirt, like a midweek.
The video has to make know your roots. I know where I came from and consumer and everything, but when I came here, it was different knowing that they think, like if you watch the media and you're in a different country, they think this place to be like really a place of, it's the perfect place to be. Like everything's perfect. You to come here, you to like fit a little bit, and you'll be fine. But when I came here, it was different for me. I spoke English. English was my first language. When people didn't think I spoke English, was what they saw about me. And slowly, me being students, my roots know where I came from, which means I do what I love. People slowly started coming to understand that it's important to know who you are, where you're from, and what you do. It's good to be different, but different in a good way. And understand that it's good that it doesn't matter where you come from, it's how you see yourself as a young.
Absolutely. Give a round of applause. It's very interesting. We make assumptions of what people should look like if they come from a certain area. Like, for example, when I was in college at Mercyhurst, they were saying we had an exchange student, an international student that was coming over, and she was coming from Africa. I can't remember what country. I do remember saying she's coming from Africa, Everyone assumed she was black. But when she came, it was a white girl with blue eyes, and all of us looked like her. So we automatically assumed that just because she was from Africa, she was African, she was white African. You know? So, very interesting. And also, there are different stereotypes and perceptions made from whites as well. There are blacks and whites and Asians and Latinos and Hispanics and Mexicans that grow up in the same neighborhoods and have the same culture in that neighborhood. So it's not just that if people live in poverty or people are wealthy that they have to identify with a certain ethnic group. Those barriers have to come down because it's not true. I had white friends growing up who lived next door to me. We all grew up together and we experienced life in the same way. So it's pretty interesting. I'm going to pause right now and do an interesting activity before we finish the rest of the slide presentation. And this is in order to break down these barriers between groups, regardless of what area you identify with, whether it's because of disability, because of your ethnic background, or sexual orientation, sex, hair color, eye color, whatever, doesn't matter. One thing that's going to help fix it is communication. So we're going to do a communication activity, and it's going to be like a little competition between 3 different groups. So I need 5 people. Come on. Come on. Thank you. And I'd like for you to come up to the stage, please. And one of you, could you move the dry erase board over out the way a little bit? So I have 5 women and 3 men. We have another guy over here. Come on. Come on. I saw your hand up. Yes. Hey. A little support from the audience. I see the women stood up. We got a couple guys. Come on, fellas.